Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be going over the best players in Smash Ultimate Round that don't have a sponsor. Now this isn't every single best player, this isn't a ranking of unsponsored players. This is just 10 players that I've chosen that I think are really good without a current home, and the first one is going to be Tora. He's the only player on this list that isn't from NA because again I just know the NA scene best and I know which players have sponsors and don't, but if there's someone that I'm missing please let me know down below. But Tora is a player with a lot of potential and is a massive up and comer right now. This fifth at Umagora SP9 is one of the best runs that we've had in 2023 Ultimate. Got wins on Mutakin, a Torier, I'm like he got a bunch of upsets to Aaron as well. Bunch of upsets along the way. One of the best Samuses in Japan, and right now being one of the best Samuses in Japan is pretty impressive because you have to compete with Yara, and Yara is simply incredible. Now he doesn't always hit these peaks. He's pretty consistent, like 25th or rather 33rd at Kagaribi, 25th at Wave, 25th at Meisuma. He's very consistent, and then he's peaking into this really high performance of this 5th place here. I think he has such a bright future, and if we see Tora just traveling more, playing more Smash in general, then I think he could be a serious threat. Now I know there's a bit of a sponsor drought right now, which makes it a little bit tough, but on the optimistic side, hopefully some of these players get picked up, and I'd love to see Tora because again, he's just so talented, and we just don't get to see a ton of him. Next up is going to be Dark Wizzy. Now, Dark Wizzy is a player that screams consistency. He hasn't had a bad performance since, and I'm going to try to find it. His last bad performance was arguably the 33rd at Rising Ground because that's like more of an A tier, but even since then, nothing is like too horrendous. Like he's not getting the top 8s like he used to be getting super consistently, but he's just so incredibly consistent. Like these performances are absolutely unreal. His worst is like a 33rd, that 49th at like Genesis 8, which is a long time ago at this point. 33rd at Genesis 9, got a win on Sigma. 9th at Frosty Faustin, got a couple good wins there. 25th at Let's Make Big Moves, got a couple good wins. 25th at Port Priority, 13th at Let's Make Big Moves, and then of course you have this crown jewel run of his, at least as of late, at Big House, where he got wins on Kameme, Mars, Zenodo, Esam, Frostbite. Like he got so many amazing players along the way, and Dark Wizzy is one of the best Marios in the world right now, and it's kind of him being overshadowed, I think, because Kurama's been doing so well. We have the Rise of now in Japan, and Dark Wizzy is really consistent, and he's still getting these decent performances. He's just not getting the peaks that the other Marios are getting, so he doesn't get talked about as much. But Dark Wizzy is incredible. He's such a good player. I think he'd be a really good pickup. Plus, he does have content, which is always something to consider. Probably, honestly, a bigger thing to consider than a lot of players for the placements. Like, content is really important, and Dark Wizzy is on that stream grind, so shouts to him for that. And he's an amazing player with such high levels of consistency, and he can beat the best of the best if he just figures out, again, how to beat a couple, like, little demons here. Like, his losses are never really bad. They're just pretty tough players that he can beat, but just isn't. I think Dark Wizzy is amazing. We could see him come back to full form, like, right before quarantine happened, where he was, like, top baiting basically everything. He is a very scary player. Really good with Mario, and just someone that would be an amazing pickup. Our next player is going to be Esam, kind of the same thing as Dark Wizzy. If you aren't getting into the top 8, you've like fallen off, you're a bad player now, yada, but his results are still incredibly consistent. His only real blemish is going to be this 65th at Genesis, where he did do a little bit rough, but even the losses, those are like obviously good players. Then he's a 13th at DreamHack, 9th at this is a local though, but then he has a 17th at Big House, got to win on Black Twins, 9th at Lost Tech, got to win on Mutace. That stock's going to go up a lot because Mutace is incredible. I mean, the stock's already up. 7th place at Shine, 9th place at Battle BC, and then 25th at Genesis 8. Now, this was a little bit ago, but he did get a tweak win there, which I think just shows how good Esam is. He can beat these like top 10, top 5, top 1 players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world versus Leo. Again, you also have to consider Esam's content game kind of goes a little bit crazy. Something that's always nice for a pickup, but he's just such an amazing player, and I think his brawler secondary is something that's really interesting to watch right now, because I don't know if the brawler helps or hurts, because there's some sets where the brawler's really helping, and there's some sets where it's like maybe the Pikachu would have been a better role, and I think once he figures that out, he's going to be back to this full dominant form, because it's really hard to juggle 2 characters in this game. Even though I do recommend it, I think it's smart that he's doing it. I mean, obviously he can like choose what he wants to play, all that stuff, and I think he should be playing who he's comfortable with, but playing brawler as a secondary I think is a good idea. It's just tough to choose when you should be playing brawler, when you should be playing your better character of Pikachu. You also have to invest a lot of time into Pikachu, so that could be a factor in Esam's consistency. At the end of the day, he could just have any tournament he goes to be the one where he is in full force. He can beat basically every player in the game. There's like 4 players in bracket where it's like, yeah, they're probably going to be Esam, and Everyone else is fair game. Tweak is fair game. Light is fair game. Leo is fair game. He is so good. Esam is absolutely incredible. The best Pikachu in the world, and he'd be a great pickup on any org. Up next is Wadi, and he's kind of in the same situation as Esam, where he doesn't go to a ton of stuff, but he's still incredibly consistent. He's had a couple top 8s. He has top 8s at both Smash Factor and CEO, even though they're a little bit ago. It still shows that he's an amazing player, where he got a bunch of good wins along the way. The best one there probably being Jake. 25th at SmashCon's really good. That tournament was insane. 9th at PAX West, pretty good. 17th at Riptide, only losing to Kurama and Quinn. 13th at Lost Tech. 13th at Big House. 49th at Let's Make Moves Miami. Is his last tournament in October, at least his last major in October, and it's like a bit of a blemish, but even still, 49th isn't the end of the world, and the rest of these results are very good. Wadi is an incredible player, and another thing about Wadi, he plays like 4 characters at a super top level. He plays Samus, he plays Ice Climbers, he plays Sora now. You obviously have that core of Mewtwo and Rob, and that's another thing where it's tough with consistency because you just don't know which character to pick. Like character crisis, it is super real, especially when you're playing a bunch of characters and you don't know which is the correct choice. Do you go with the one that's for the matchup? Do you go for the one that you're more comfortable with? Do you go the one that, like, I don't know, just playing hot that day? It's really tough to decide, but Wadi still manages to have insane levels of consistency while juggling a bunch of characters. He never loses to, like, bad players, quote unquote. Every single player that he loses to is absolutely correct. Like, you look at all of these losses, there's not a single player in here it's like, I don't know who it is. That is a massive upset. But those, some of them, of course, are upsets. He is losing to people that are absolutely incredible. Wadi is amazing. Also has the content game. I didn't say, maybe Yara has or Tora has a content game as well. I just don't know it, but I'm saying everyone else has a content game because they do. Wadi is insane, such an amazing player. He plays so many characters at a top level. Any of those characters could make some massive upsets, and he's done the upsets before. Like, he has wins on Spargo. He beat Spargo with Mewtwo. People just don't do that. That's unreal. Wadi is incredible, and he'd be an amazing pickup. Next up is going to be Luis, who is probably the best Palutena player in the world right now. I think it's between him, Chag, Raffalo, and Jagaimo, but I would probably give it to Luis just because the amount of tournaments that he just does really well at it's unreal. He has a 65th at Genesis, which is an amazing, 25th at Port, which is an amazing for him, but then everything else is very clean. 17th at Level Up Expo, only losing to Mars and Naito. He has this really good main stage run where he got wins on Colorado, Vendetta, Osimo, Shuton, and Ouch. Osimo, Shuton, Ouch, that is such a good trio. Those are like top 30 players. Justice as well, only losing to Light and Salt 1. It's crazy they have to play Salt 1 that early. Back in Blood 5, he gets a really good run. Here's Sen, JDV, Skittles, Monty. 5th at Lost Tech City, wins on Nico, Dark Wizzy, Sen. Like, Luis is phenomenal, as well as having a very good secondary Fox, which is something to consider. Again, it is probably going to be the Paulo, but you could see the Fox. Maybe you see the Dr. Mario. Luis, hey, you want that content doc, he's the guy to get, because he's like, it's between him, Orion, or like one of the actual doc mains for like sick Dr. Mario. People always love that. Luis is such an amazing player. His games are always incredible. He's very clutch. I'd say one of like the clutchest players in Smash Ultimate, and he does it with Paulo, which like isn't necessarily like an unclutch character, but I feel like Palutena doesn't really have anything to like steal games away. Like, they're kind of just like hitting you for like 60, and then they hit you for like a couple back airs, and then they end the game. That's just kind of top tier stuff, but Luis manages to do it every single time. He lands these crucial downers. He lands these like insane edge guards. Luis is absolutely, he's just insane. He's absolutely incredible. He has a stream. I think everyone, I'm just going to stop saying that because I'm pretty sure everyone else on this list streams at least a little bit. So Luis is crazy, and he's like such an amazing player that I'm really surprised isn't on an org. Up next is going to be Mars. Now, Mars is unreal, and he only has like 2 bad tournaments in the last couple months. He has this Super Smash one and this Double Down one, and those are like both like super majors, so some people are going to do bad. But then past that, it is only phenomenal performances. He has top 8 at Genesis, so that's a while ago, so we won't spend as much time, but again, really good. Top 8 at CEO, got 5th place there, got wins on MVD, Aaron, Peanut, Quandale, like those are all really good. Then you have Shine, 9th place there, wins on Nido Sharp and Black Twins. Lost Tech, he won the whole thing, wins on Meister twice. Zomba, Lima, Esam, or only Meister once, but still, Zomba, Esam, Lima, like those are such good ones. Hungry Box as well. 9th at Big House, another win on Meister. Slime, RJ. 9th at Genesis 9 with this insane losers run. H4, Nido Sharp, MK Big Boss, Leon, Siski, Debuzz. The Debuzz win is so big for him because that's been a demon in his past. And Level Up Expo with a 7th place, wins on MVD, Luis, Peppa. Like, Mars is just unreal. And again, he's only someone that loses to the best of the best. Even the tournaments where he like did bad at, quote unquote, he lost to Riddles and Ken at Double Down for 3rd. Or 33rd. That is unreal. MFA and Puppet. One of them is Olimar. One of them is Puppet, who's absolutely cracked. Like, for 65th. That is... MFA is good, by the way, too. I don't want to make it seem like MFA is not good. But Those are not bad losses at all. Mars is insane. His level of consistency, again, is very, very good. It's going to be mainly the zero suit for now. I don't think we'll be seeing any more of the Joker. I mean, we definitely could see more of the Joker, but I think it's probably going to be sticking to the zero suit, which I think I do like for Mars's playstyle, just because his zero suit is so good. It's like actually unreal. Not the Joker can't do it. He's a bunch of characters that can't do it, because he also plays 30 characters. He's a really good Mega Man, really good Snake, Falcon, Ike, Joker. All those characters have had a lot of success in the past, but he's definitely the best zero suit in the world right now and throughout all of Ultimate. And he is someone that if you have Mars on your team, you're going to be getting a lot of top 8s, because he's almost always in them, or at least shy of it. Next up is going to be Cosmos, Mr. Inconsistency. But wait, Cosmos seems to have figured out his inconsistent problems, because he hasn't had a bad performance since Rise and Grind, because these are all 17th at Super Major. I think Big House was just a major, but still, 17th there isn't end the world, only losing to Kamehameha and Frostbite. Let's Make Moves Miami, only losing to Anathema and Jackal. Main Stage, only losing to Spargo and T, and he got wins on Quinn and Atorie. Shine, he won the whole thing, beating Light, Zomba, Tweak, Jackal, Quandale. Like, that's an insane list. And then he has these 2 nights at Genesis and Level Up Expo, or rather, Let's Make Big Moves. Wins on Shattuck, Ned, Epic, Gabriel, Curry, Governor, only losing to Leo and Sonics, who are both top 6 in the world. Genesis, he has wins on Zomba, Karama, Quandale, Dark Wizzy, Shogun. Like, he is just so good. Only losing to Vendetta, which is a decent upset. But then again, the losers run is very, very strong. And he's 3-0ing. Like, he 3-0'd all of these players except Shogun and Dark Wizzy. And then he lost to Tweak. And then Level Up Expo, he got wins on Mystery, Salt 1, Frog, Stackpo. Like, those are all amazing players. Only losing again to Tweak and Sonics. He's only losing to, like, really, really, really good players. Like, out of all the like past like 5 tournaments he's gone to, I guess like not including Let's Make Moves Miami, the only player that he's lost to outside of the top 10 is Vendetta, who is insane. Cosmos is unreal. The only problem about him, like before, was his consistency, but he's like these last 4 tournaments, or last like 3 tournaments, those are all very, very good. Even his main stage, I would argue, is still very, very good. Like, he didn't really get upset at all. He just lost it to amazing players. He seems to have figured out the one thing that was kind of holding him back. And when he hits those highs, Cosmos is unreal. Still an argument for the best ages in the world, though it is probably Shootone right now. I think Cosmos was like kind of dismissed from the conversation, but no, he is still in there. He is still incredible, and any team that he's on, he'd be a great pickup. But this is where it gets serious. This is our big 3 players that are unsponsored, and these are all top 6 players, starting off with Sonics. Sonics' only bad performance in an offline major, at least since quarantine, is going to be at Super Smash Con, where he got a measly 33rd. What a terrible placement. 33rd at Super Major. That's his worst. That is unreal. 3rd at Smash Factor, 3rd at Glitch Region. But I want to look at these last 3 events, because these are all super recent, and he did amazing at all of them. He does get upset by MK Big Boss at Let's Make Big Moves, but then he beats Quick, Chronos, Cosmos, Riddles, Gluto, and Leo, only losing to Spargo after that for a 3rd place. That is insane. Genesis, same thing. Gets wins on Now, Moxie, Karama, Spargo. Loses to Leo in a very close set, beats Gluto, and loses to Light. Level Up Expo gets wins on Sticky, Quandale, Zomba, Salt 1, and Cosmos, only losing to Light. Seems like his only real demon right now is going to be Light, and then maybe Leo, but like he's beaten Leo before, though this was like some of it was like, or most of the set was with Joker, so I think he can beat Leo's Aegis, because he was very, very close at that set at Genesis. He probably should have won that if he just hit like 1 or 2 more edge guards. Now Light like pretty dominant at Level Up Expo, but I will say, when Sonics wins a game, like when Sonics dominates a game, it is harder than anyone else. Not even Leo. Like when Sonics destroys you, it is over in a minute, and he's done it like multiple times to multiple people across multiple sets. When Sonic just decides to win games, he just goes absolutely insane, and then every other game is just like a slow, methodical playstyle. But when he explodes on you, it is something that you never want to look to, because oh my lord, Sonics just hits you. He hits you so hard. His edge guards are amazing. He's just an incredible player. Really unfortunate that he isn't sponsored right now. Please pick this man up, because he is unreal. Next up is going to be Tweak. Now, Tweak being unsponsored is insane. If you are a sponsor and you're watching this video, you're probably not. You probably have better things to do with your time. But if you were to, you need to pick up Tweak right now, because look at these results. Oh my lord, the only bad performance, the only top 8 he's missed since, let's look before this. Genesis and SmashCon. Those are the only top 8s he's missed in like a year. 5th, 4th, 7th, 1st, 2nd, 1st, 7th, 2nd. Oh my lord, these results are insane. And he has wins on basically everyone. He's got wins on Spargo, got wins on Leo, got wins on Light. Like Tweak is just unreal, and that combination of Diddy Kong and Sephiroth works way better than it should because Sephiroth, Diddy, I don't know if they cover each other's matchups super well. I feel like some of the bad ones, at least the bad ones that he's losing to, they don't do great in, but he manages to pull it off because he's just so good. He's absolutely really also has the Pocket Wario, which I know is something that I think he's been experimenting with a little bit more now because like Wario's like a good character to have in the pocket, and also like tweaking Wario, it just makes sense. It's like bread and butter. He also has like 30 other characters I'm sure you could play. We'll see the Young Link at some point. We'll see the I don't know the Ridley, the PT, the Banjo. There's so many characters that Tweak could bust out at any moment that makes him so scary. Though it is going to be mainly the Diddy, and the Diddy by itself is scary enough on alone because oh my god, the Diddy is insane. His conversions are unreal. If there is Diddy Kong tech, not only does Tweak know about it, but he is actively doing it against your favorite top player. Tweak is insane. Has that content grind as well with Tweak Talks, and he streams like basically every day. Tweak is unreal. He would be like one of the best pickups in the world right now. Like Tweak is crazy. And our final player is going to be MKLeo. And I don't really know what needs to be said here other than the fact that he's like, pretty good at the game. Like he wins things from time to time. I don't know. He is unreal. He's been the best player in the world since before the game came out. It's been longer than Ultimate. Leo has been the GOAT. He is the best pickup you can have in the game right now, at least in terms of winning things, because Leo wins like half the events he's going to. And this is by the way, this is Leo at his worst, right? And he's still winning half the events, like second year, first, second, first, fifth, first, fourth, fifth, or first. Leo is just simply unreal. The Joker is back in full force, and it is looking incredibly strong. He is such an amazing player. Obviously, he's the best player in the world. And I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, this video wasn't meant to be like, oh, Smash is dying. Look at all these amazing players that are unsponsored. I just wanted to give highlights of people that I think are really, really, really good. Just kind of a topic, like just, hey, what's a way I could talk about top players? And this was a perfect way for it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anyone that I left out, please let me know down below. As I said at the start, I'm not really as familiar with unsponsored players from Europe, Japan, Australia, Brazil, all those like minor regions. So, well, I guess Japan and Australia, you know what I mean. But let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching. The sport's been absolutely unreal lately, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.